Hey everybody, and welcome to the June Q&A video. I'm Andrew Rhodes. I'm your host here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for submitting your questions for this month's video. I received a lot of them. What we got here? I know it's over... I thought it was close to... Okay, it's over 20 questions. So first off, thank you. That's a lot of questions, and I'm really impressed by that. I do enjoy answering questions, so... it's going to be fun. I don't know when in July I'm going to do it. I won't announce that this video. I'll do a separate, smaller video for that. Mostly because I'm going back to work, ironically, tomorrow. So I don't know yet what my schedule is going to be like because it's a modified schedule as it is now. At least for me anyway. So I have to kind of get everything figured out before I 100% commit to a date. So there is that. Otherwise, though, let's dive into this. And let me get back up here to question 1. All right, so let me go through these. And as always, remember, you too can submit questions for the next one by using the parenthesis Q&A parenthesis at the end of your comment. That way I won't answer it right away, and I'll know which video you wanted for, as I'll go from the last Q&A video to the current cutoff date. So don't worry, I know I have my system. Okay, so first question is, when did you start wearing glasses? If you've already answered this question before, then use this question instead. What is one thing about glasses that would always get on your nerves, and would you change a thing about that? The earliest I can remember wearing glasses would be I was a kid. It definitely was before I was 5, because I kind of remember having them when I was in kindergarten. I hated them then. I hate them now. Not gonna lie. But yeah, definitely when I was a kid. I could narrow it down, but at least before kindergarten. I don't remember not having them in kindergarten, so definitely before then. As I actually remember going to a really nice optometrist when I was a kid. Every time there was a problem with my glasses, she was really nice, so I do remember that. But you know what? I'll use the other question too, so it's a two-part question. What is one thing about glasses that that always get on my nerves and I change? I can actually demonstrate it. They slide down. That bothers the living crap out of me. And this is what I look like without glasses, by the way, in case anybody wanted to know. Yeah. No, they slide down because the nose pads, if you ever sweat like I do, or just sweat in general, the nose pads will always lose their friction and they'll slide right off. And then it's a pain in the ass to get it back on. Then there's the fact that depending on the type of temples you have, you could actually crack the internal spring if you have ones like mine, or they could break. The screws can corrode over time by sweat, moisture, body heat. There's a lot that I don't like about glasses. Would I change it? Maybe I would consider it, but I really don't want to go contacts, and the only other option then would be laser eye surgery, and I'm like... I'm hesitant as hell on that, so there's that too. And I do apologize. I should have mentioned this. I do apologize for my look. It is hot in my room. It's like 90 degrees in here, so I am sweating pretty bad. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the end of that question. I changed glasses. Period. I wouldn't like me if you could make them like the visor, almost like a solid visor that didn't have like a nose piece, like a nose pad, just had like a crevice you could put on. I would probably dig that. But the other big thing is that you have to get clip-on shades for these things, or ones that fit over these, and the fit-over ones are a pain in the ass, and clip-on shades are not bad. I actually own a pair. I did have 2, but I broke the one, so I actually have 1 pair of clip-on shades. They do work really well. I do appreciate those. They do work out very well. You can usually get them at like Walmart. I know there are some other places that have them, but I know Walmart does. I've seen a couple like Dollar Trees, but they're not bad. That's the one thing I like, but still, yeah, glasses suck. What is the greatest joke that you have ever told? No freaking clue. I did do comedy when I first started out here on YouTube, way back. And then I took it all down and deleted it. I mean, I still have the audio tracks of them, but I've only given them out to like a couple people, and that is it. Otherwise, I just played out sucking comedy. Uh, Mostly it's spur of the moment type thing, I guess. But yeah, I really couldn't tell the funniest joke that I've ever told because I don't consider myself that entirely funny. So there's that too. What was the funniest joke that you ever heard in your life? I think I kind of mentioned that last month's Q&A. The funniest joke was the whole from Sundari Children, the the him and some girl made a baby and he didn't even know what the hell was going on. It was like the funniest joke that I've ever heard. I mean, I've heard some that I can't repeat them. They are like, honest to God, I can't repeat them, but I do know some other jokes, but I'm not going to repeat them. Otherwise, it's spur of the moment thing, basically. Whichever joke makes me laugh, that's the funniest. I have not heard one that I will remember 50, 60, 70 years from now. It's mostly just spur of the moment thing, and then something else will take over, and that'll be the funniest joke that I've ever heard then, so. What was the best song that you ever heard? That's a little more difficult. Where do I have that at? Oh, here you are. This is my MP3 player. This pretty much has every song that I like on this. This is basically, if anybody out there is from the 80s, early 90s, you'll know what a mixtape is. Imagine this is like 50 mixtapes. Okay? That's, every single song is on here. To narrow it down, I could give you a few of them. Murray Heads, One Night in Bangkok. We have Calloway's, what the hell was that? Oh, I Want to Be Rich. The theme from Icon, Feel Like Our Days. Then there's the opening from Die Guard. So many things. Like, I have animals. I even have a couple Lori Morgan songs on here because I did appreciate her singing as a kid. So, yeah. It's every one of the best songs that I've ever heard is on this. Literally. And I have backups of this, too, by the way. So, there's that, too. I mean, it's a digital. I mean, I also do I have him? Yeah, here he is. It's like, do I have that? I just have to kind of look, like, bend down, like, okay, do I have it? Yeah, I do. I also have this MP3 player. Yes, it's actually an MP3 player. I bought it on eBay. See? I don't know if it'll come in because of the light. Oh, wait, maybe. Yeah, okay. But yeah, this is an MP3 player. It's a Duck. It's got a rechargeable battery. I have never actually done anything because it needs a card in order to function. There's no memory on this thing. It was like $2. I mostly just bought it for a paperweight. I'm not even lying. I literally bought this for a paperweight. Just because I thought it looked pretty cool. And I'm like, it's really cheap. It's a music player? Bah, screw the music player. Okay. What was the worst song that you've ever heard? Oh, that I can answer. That I can answer. The song is from, I'm thinking like the 80s, early 90s. It is called Vogue. I hate this song with a passion. And I mean, flat out hate this song. Actually, so much so, in fact, that I hate this thing. I actually wrote the one radio station that I can pick up from my radio, and I actually asked them to pull it from their repertoire. And I made a damning good evidence. I said, look, there's like a couple other songs you can put in its place that I don't think you have on your station. If it's a licensing issue, yank it, find something else. This song sucks. I said, I doubt I'm the only one that hates it. But they were polite. They didn't tell me to like, straight out go to hell. They were polite enough and said that the song is X amount. And they actually had down in the email how long the song is. They said, we recommend, and we really don't want to say it this way, but we recommend just dialing us out or turning off your radio for that amount of time and then come back to us. We can't pull the song from our repertoire and from our library because it's part of the station's master list, so they couldn't remove it. And I was like, okay, well, at least they didn't tell me to flat out go to hell. They were just like, well, we can't really get rid of it, but we can just give you some advice. This is how long the song is. If you hear it come on, just tune it out. turn off the radio for a couple minutes and come back to us. So, but yeah, that is the worst song I've ever heard is Vogue, and it's a Madonna song, and I hate it with fucking passion. I hate it. What do you think about Elmo's new late night talk show on HBO Max? I hate Elmo. That's my thought on it. Okay, there. This also proves that my video is not for children. Okay, there. This video is not for children. I just flipped the bird. That's my thought on Elmo having a late night talk show on HBO Max. That's my thought on Elmo in general. Little figure there. That's my thought on it. Okay, there. I've said it. Okay. I'm not a fan of Elmo. I have never been a fan of Elmo. I hate Elmo with a passion. No, that's my thought. I'm not doing it again. You saw it one time only, and knowing my luck, that's gonna be the thumbnail, and YouTube's gonna recommend. That's gonna suck. That'll be fun. No, that's my thought. I'm not a huge fan of Elmo, so I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, Elmo can go off. I don't like Elmo. So, out of everyone on YouTube, who makes you laugh the most? That would probably be the channel Gray Still Plays. I actually subscribed to that channel, and I listen to like a lot of his videos, and I watch him too. But sometimes I'm doing something else. Some of the stuff he says is kind of funny. It's mostly just the way he says it in the moment, but still it's kind of good. It's like, I'm going to make this roller coaster that's going to destroy all of mankind and possibly take out Florida. God damn it. Or, new game, damn it. Or continue game, damn it. It's just stuff like that. So it's a spur of the moment type of thing, but that's the one channel I gotta get the most of a kick out of. But it's kind of funny. How do you feel about being an announcer on YouTube? I can actually answer this and question 9 both in the same way. I'm neutral on it. It is what it is. I'm just doing some lines. I just read something, and that's it. It's really nothing massive. It's nothing major. It's nothing to basically... I mean, I'm not going to jump up and down for joy and go, oh my God, it's the greatest thing. I just read lines. It's just really nothing to get excited about. That's all I do. So yeah, because question 9 was, how do you feel about playing a doctor on a YouTube show? Same way. I feel neutral about it. I have no reservations one way or another, so there's that. What is your idea of a perfect streaming service? This is a good question. So a perfect streaming service to me would be one that is free. No subscriptions, no hidden charges, nothing like that. It has ads in basically like commercials at opportune and specific points in the show. So basically if it was something that was made for TV and there's like a break in it that's where the commercial was going to be, that's where you would put the ads in. Don't just put ads in wherever the hell you feel like it. Actually, mimic it like it was on TV. Otherwise, that would be my opportune that I'd like to say streaming service. And there's one that kind of fits that now, and that's mostly Pluto. But I guess some of the other things that I would want is categorical sections for like which ones you want. Like if you only want news channels, just like go down the category list, pull up news, problem solved, and it gives you every single news channel you can get online, like any news site that has streaming videos all the time, like ABC, Fox, CNN. If you want cooking channels, you can pull up every cooking channel. If you want anime, I can pull up every anime channel ever known to man. It would pull them up for free because, again, no, subscription, no fees, so there's that. Having some like an interesting host or something in between shows that would come out and do like a silly thing to get you distracted enough to remember, oh yeah, there's another show coming up, would be pretty cool. I would say something akin to like what Nickelodeon used to do back in the 90s with their little Nick logos. That was pretty cool, but have like an actual like mascot for the streaming service come out and do that. That would be pretty badass. But that would pretty much be the perfect streaming service. I mean, free with ads, decent content, a rotating calendar that tells you, okay, like stuff will be on here for like 3 months, then it'll get rotated out for something else that'll be on for 3 months, and what was rotated out after 3 months will be back in like 6 months, or 6 to 9 months, then it'll come back again. So you'll get it like 2 shots to watch it per year, like per calendar year. So it's actually not a bad idea. So like if something would come out like in January, you'd have like stuff that would be ending in December, and then you'd have stuff coming out again in January, like all new stuff. That would stick around till the end of March. Then come April, you had a whole new set, and what ended in March would come back around again in basically like December or at the start of January again. So like I said, 6 to 9 months later, then you would have that same set again. So you'd be able to watch it, and they could rotate it out. Like, okay, it'd be like 6 to 9 months. So like 6 months later, it'll come back out again, and that'll change up the rotation then each time. So it won't constantly be like, oh, it's okay, this one only comes out in January. No, it'll be different each time. So that would be something else, but that's about it. So how much things have The Simpsons predicted that have happened so far or haven't happened yet? Hell of a lot. Hell of a lot. Disney buying Fox. Alvin and the Chipmunks making another movie. Presidents, basically. I want to say some disasters. A dozen other things. I'm still waiting, though, because there was an episode where Homer made the comment that this is the biggest thing that's happened since Halley's Comet collided with the moon. And basically, The Simpsons have now said it. I'm kind of almost putting myself on a mission to figure out if this will actually happen, but I'd have to trace the path of Halley's Comet, figure out the moon's orbit, because it is changing, apparently. The moon is getting further from the Earth. And I would actually have to, in a way, figure out when and if they would actually collide and go, well, look, The Simpsons predicted it, and unless something changes in between here, that's when it's going to hit and happen. I mean, it's possible. Somebody might have already done it, too. I don't know, but they have predicted a hell of a lot. Like I said, Halley's Comet colliding with the moon is the thing that I am waiting for, because once they've predicted that, because you're screwed then, because if the Time Machine movie from 2002 taught us anything, once the moon explodes, we're all going back to the era of boats, long boats, and no technology. We're basically Stone Age again at that point, and that'll be years down the road. We'll be screwed. So we'll have to remember that. But yeah, so that's something that I honestly think they haven't predicted just yet. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on most films or cartoons rated hard R? Well, damn good. Bloodsport would be one, because I think that I know what that question's in light of, because I made the comment that I finally got my mom to watch Bloodsport. Hard R movies are definitely, they're edgier, they're more adventurous. They're what most kids back in the 90s were sneaking into an R-rated movie hoping to see. If you were a kid in the 90s and you went to school and you said, hey, I saw an R-rated movie, you were like God on the playground for like a few days. R-rated movies were just something of massive epicness. I think even in the 80s too. They were just something of epicness. With the whole, it's a movie, it's R-rated. It was like that R stood for really, really good. But there's different levels of R. You have soft R, normal R, and then hard R. And hard R is basically like gore, death, dismemberment, stuff like that. It's literally like 1 or 2 rungs below an X rating. That tells you something. For cartoons, though, I have not come across many, because I'm not a huge fan of gore and stuff like that, but I know the Spawn series that was on, I think it was Showtime or HBO, the animated one, was considered a hard R for cartoons. I think that Castlevania one was also kind of considered a hard R. There was like a few other ones that I remember hearing about, but I have not seen. So my thoughts on them, personally, films that are hard R definitely are kind of good. The plots are usually good, provided they do it right. But a majority of movies nowadays just stick right at the medial R, like the normal R rating, and try not to go too high up on the hard R, because you'll get one group of people that'll go, they see a nipple in the hard R, it's X-rated then, and they won't even take it as a hard R then. It's automatically will be bumped to X rating depending on how many people complain. So there's that. Otherwise, though, yeah, there's not really much of a difference. But my thoughts on them is hard R is basically the extreme. I mean, it's the end of the spectrum as far as I'm concerned for movies. It's the end of the spectrum. So there is that. What would your ideal superhero team be? Iron Man. Okay, let's get this straight. Iron Man, right there, right off the bat. I'll throw in Green Lantern and the Flash to get some decent coverage. Probably throw in Spider-Man 2. Maybe Ghost Rider or Constantine. And if we're going off of comic book ones, if we're going off of anime ones too, well, All Might. I'd even throw Deku in there because he's pretty badass in his own right. There's like half a dozen other ones that were really good and powerful in My Hero Academia. Kotsuts, was it Kagasu or Kotsutsi? Basically, the guy from Tiger and Bunny. He was pretty good. I wouldn't want to include Sky High, I think was what his name was. That's the same thing as that freaking Disney movie. But yeah, so I mean, if we're talking anime characters, I mean, if I have like a team of 5 or something, if we're talking comic books, a team of 5 would be Iron Man, Spider-Man, Flash, Green Lantern, and maybe just for the sake of simplicity, I'd go with Constantine. So 5, yeah. Those are the 5. I got like every base covered. I got Mystic covered. I got Tech covered. Intelligence is covered. Sense, like extrasensory and speed is just all covered. So that's good. But if we're adding like anime characters in, All Might definitely would be pretty up there. Granted, all he can do is punch and like blow stuff up with his power, but still, that's not a bad thing. I mean, he's got unlimited strength if we've taken him in his prime. If we're going like what he was in the series, he was still pretty good prior to losing more of his ability, so there's that. Let's see. What would make a show unique, be it animated or live action? Well, I guess unique is in the eye of the beholder, but nothing Flash animated. That's a given. Those suck. Computer done isn't bad, but Flash animation just blows straight to hell. Definitely something that's pretty unique. Characters would have to be like right off the bat good. I mean, you would have to be in love with their design, in love with their personality traits, in love with their style right off the bat. Otherwise, you're just slogging through the show until it's over, and it's not a good way to do it. And the same thing goes for both live action and anime. But I'll go with animated first. So definitely for animated, computer drawn is not bad, but not Flash animated. That's horrible. Character design, character personality, and well, basically the character. The plot would have to be pretty good too. Not like cookie cutter, like, okay, we're just gonna have a generic, let's go like a science fiction one, like, oh look, there's a giant monster and we are a government organization that has a robot that will defend the world from this monster. And it's constant, okay, monster comes, robot attacks, robot wins. There's a series out called Die Guard that I've actually been watching right now, and that's actually a pretty cool take on this, because there's the monster, there's the robot, but the robot half the time has to deal with bureaucracy about launching, because it's independently owned and was originally built by the Army in the series that wants their robot back because now the monsters are a threat again, and they don't want to give it up because it's owned by the company, but they're basically like, well, you can't launch without our permission, and the pilots just launch anyway, and it pisses them off, so, yeah. But that's for animated. Even like cartoons and that, you'd have to have decent plot, character designs, and character personalities, definitely, to even make it a unique series. Like The Loud House has a good um, jolt of personality to the characters. You can feel their personality. Some you want to hate, and some you really care for, some you feel for. There was a, like, even Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. They both had a unique story, which was the plot. Some of the characters might have sucked ass, but the plot sucked you in regardless. You didn't care about the characters, minute problems at that point. It was the plot that sucked you in and kept you going. So there's that. But otherwise, yeah, it's a hit and miss. As far as, like, I want to say live action shows and movies and stuff like that, or shows, I can go with shows. Live action, don't pull the superhero route. If you're trying to be like Power Rangers, you know the formula for it. Don't try to just copy and paste the formula into your own thing. Try to make it your own. Perfect example, because most of them came from the same company too, would be like Big Bad Beetleborgs, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, VR Troopers, just to name a few. But they all came from Saban as well. And then you had Power Rangers, which was the main thing. But then you had other shows that were like Power Rangers or tried to be like Power Rangers and failed miserably. And then there were shows that tried to adapt similar concepts but didn't work. But for other shows, like drama shows and that, characters, plot, all that stuff has to be fleshed out, feel natural, and not seem like crap. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and effort. And in all honesty, you're just not doing anybody justice at that point. It's going to suck. But that'd be about it. Do you like reading books sometimes? Yeah, sometimes. I actually have one that I bought at the Dollar Tree, The Inventor's Secret. I bought it like a couple years ago, and I have been trying to finish it. I'm like at chapter 6, and it's this thick of a book. It's not very big, and I just haven't found a chance to read it. Most of the time, I'll read stuff like online, or I have some manga yet that I read. But otherwise, yeah, I don't read much. So, but I do like to read books sometimes. So yeah. Ideas you threw to the wall and stuck for videos but never got made, including videos you thought up but also didn't get made. That's an interesting question. Okay, so like ideas that I thought up, ideas that I threw to the wall to see if it would stick, are ones that end stuck. I've had a lot of ideas for videos that I've chucked to the wall to see if it would stick, and a lot of them haven't. There were a few ideas that I was really hoping that it would have worked out, and it didn't. And then I decided, you know what, it's not worth my time to try it, or screw it, nuts to this. There were a few that I was really hoping would have worked out really well, but didn't. And then there were some that just flat out didn't work at all. Everybody out there knows what happened with Reboots, Remakes, and Retcons Episode 3. I did make that. I actually it's not completed either, but I still have it on my... yeah. Sorry about that. I had a bug crawling on me. Yeah, I had a bug crawling on me. Sorry about that. That was a bug. But yeah. Reboots, Remakes, and Retcons, I did make it. Episode 3 is on my computer yet, but I never released it. I decided it wasn't worth it anymore to do the series. It didn't feel right to me. I felt like I was just spinning my wheels on it, and it was only episode 3. There were a few other videos that I've done the same thing to. Andrew Unwraps was one series that I just said nuts to this, and I stuck that to the wall because everybody else was doing unwrapping videos. My theory videos is one that I kind of wanted to try to take it off, but it didn't go well because the ideas stuck. But I couldn't come up with theories like other YouTubers could, so it wasn't worth it. But yeah, videos that I thought up but also didn't get made, there were a lot of those. I thought about doing a video series on video game characters that were really cool. Like, I was going to call it, the video game, character hall or something, and I never bothered to make it. I just gave up on that idea in a matter of minutes. There was one that I wanted to do, Andrew's app reviews. I was going to review like mobile apps for tablets and that. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, nah, nuts to that too. Then there was like half a dozen others. I'm still working on the YouTube review channel. The YouTube review series. So there is that. That's still one that the idea's still up there yet. It hasn't fallen off, so I still want to do it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, as far as ideas that I've thrown to the wall and that stuck for videos but never got made, would mostly be those. Just the app ones, stuff like that, and ones that I thought up but also didn't get made for videos that I thought up. Like I said, well, there was one. I did a rant video. I did record it. I had everything fixed up for it, and then I scrapped it. I said this isn't worth it. I don't even remember what it is anymore, but I remember I recorded it. I fixed up the video for it. I had it all set and ready to go, and I was looking at it the one morning, getting ready to upload it, and I said, "To hell with this! I'm not doing this one," and I just deleted it. I didn't even want to deal with it. And that was one that I did. So it wasn't really a long video. It was like maybe 10 minutes, so it wasn't a massive middle finger to myself, but still, I wasn't too happy. But yeah, I've had a lot that I basically just to the wall, don't care, or nah, I change my mind on it and I just sweep it under the rug. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see here. Favorite mythical creature? Dragons. Dragons. Seriously, dragons. If you wanted to go to a world in a video game, what would it be? Either one of the Pokemon regions, because one of the regions that I played, so either Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, or Unova. I didn't do Kalos. I did Unova. I did 4. So one of those 4. Weird from the Golden Sun games would be pretty cool to be in because I could use Psy-Energy. I would say Tethe'alla from Tales of Symphonia be pretty cool. The world of Custom Robo would be really nice. I could battle the cube that becomes a robot in a virtual reality. I'm down for that. Holy, I'm down for that. Yeah, there's like a lot that I would go to. But definitely either Custom Robo or either Custom Robo, Weird, or one of the Pokemon worlds I would probably go to. Definitely. In a heartbeat, if I had the chance to. So, yeah, one of those. Favorite style in animation? Not cel shaded. I didn't like that. It worked for what it was, but I didn't like that, and I hate flash animation. I hate flash animation. Probably computer assisted or computer generated animation. Because it's like hand drawn, but it's hand drawn in a computer program, so it's not entirely done this way, and it's actually pretty good. It's just enhanced a bit, so it's not bad. That's something I kind of like. Let's see here. Favorite day from any year? I think when that was. She was going to be a senior. Summer of 2006. Be the 19th of August, 2006. My mom and I took a trip down to Washington, D.C. to the Smithsonian. I actually enjoyed that. Well, if you're going like any a day in general from the year, first day of summer, because it's the longest freaking day of the year. I feel like I can get more done. I can accomplish more than I normally can, and it's a lot more pleasant. This past time around, it fell on a Saturday, so that really makes me happy because Saturdays are one of my favorite days of the week. And it's funny because a lot of people go, I like, Wednesdays. A lot of people love Fridays. I always like Saturdays because when I was a kid, my grandfather and I would go flea market hopping until he got fed up with taking me, and then we stopped. I enjoy Saturdays because you had Saturday morning cartoons. A lot of anime episodes were on Saturdays. Power Rangers was always on a Saturday for me. So it's a lot of those things that make Saturdays fun for me. So for me, Saturdays always seem to go really slow because I can enjoy every single piece of it. It feels like I can do like 150 things and only like maybe 2 hours will have passed. And that's what a Saturday always feels like to me. So when the first day of summer would fall on a Saturday, for me, that's like moment there. I'm like, yeah, I love that. Otherwise, I would probably say Christmas Eve actually is a kind of nice day. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Christmas Day itself because you have all the crappy specials on TV. All the people, like YouTube videos and online sites that are doing something Christmas related that you've been seeing it leading up to it, and it's just wearing on your nerves. And Christmas Eve is actually a good one because there are some places that, even though they're open, they're empty as hell. I went to a Dollar Tree once on Christmas Eve because I had a relation that was in the hospital, and we could only stay for a little bit because of reasons. I'm not going to get into it with reasons. But so we decided, hey, let's hit the Dollar Tree. Let's see what it is. See if they have anything there, like last minute gifts or something. See if we can find like some munchies for the night. And it was empty. I mean, you had the employees, maybe like one or two stragglers. It was empty. And the store was going to be open for like another 6 hours yet. And it was empty. And I was just like, this was cool. I mean, it was empty. I loved it. So yeah, definitely like the first day of summer though, definitely one of my favorite days, regardless of when it falls. If it falls on a Monday, but if it falls on like one of the other days, that's fine. But if you ever want to know the one day of the year I hate the most, Groundhog's Day. Because no matter what that little bastard sees, there's still 6 more weeks of winter. Remember that. Fucking groundhog. Okay. So question 21, and well, I actually went through all those. Wow. Okay, cool. Hopefully I answered most of them to your liking, I hope. Hope nobody took offense to my flipping Elmo off. I'm not a fan of Elmo. So question 21. Still on the mystery behind the Sonic movie that came out? No. I don't care. Basically, this is how I feel it. And this is what I want to say on it. So, we all know about the Sonic movie. We know about Sonic's original design. It was god-awful, hideous, ugly, looked like just something straight out of hell and back. Then they fixed it. Now, what bothers me about that, they had the fan backlash after the trailer came out. There was, leaked images prior to the trailer coming out, and fans were already losing their minds going, oh my god, this looks horrible. This cannot possibly be, what Sonic's going to look like. This is horrible. This is horrendous. Oh god, this can't be what Sonic's going to look like. This is not Sonic the Hedgehog. And it was. And we sadly had to deal with that fact that was in fact going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. Then, within like a matter of not even a day, maybe it's like a little over a day, the people in charge of the movie go, we're changing it. And first off, I commend them for it, because the new look did turn out really good, and I apologize if a stink bug flies around. There's one by my camera. The new design looked really good. It looked a lot better to the original, more of a homage to the original. It was the fact that what bothers me yet about it, that they came out with this, we're changing up Sonic, literally within 2 days. If it would have been like a week later, I would have bought that. I would have bought their lie. But it was the fact that it was like less than a day, or if not just a day later, they announced we're changing the design of Sonic the Hedgehog to better suit and not upset our fans. That's what bothered me, because it felt like it was too quick. It almost felt like the Disney Spider-Man thing all over again before it even happened. Then you had the whole the VFX artists that were complaining that, oh, we're going to be working overtime, we're going to be dealing with so much stress. That was crap. The movie turned out great. Okay, who cares if it came out at this certain date? Who cares if it came out on this date? It looked beautiful. We're getting a sequel to it. Tails is going to be in it. I'm cool for the sequel. I appreciate the sequel. We did not need to deal with the drama of it, in my opinion, but it was worthwhile drama. But then you also had like people that were in the movie, like Jim Carrey, complaining that fans, were just taking advantage of the movie. They were upset because it wasn't going to be their movie. But that's not true. The fans were more or less pissed off at that god-awful Sonic design, and that's what drove them to the deep end. But as far as am I still on this mystery behind it, no. I don't care anymore. It is what it is. It's gone down in history as one of the biggest PR blunders of all time. And they had to fix that fast. They had to pee on that fire, and they did. So I appreciate that. But no, I'm not on the mystery anymore, but I don't care. So, all right. That's all of the questions. Like I said, I do hope I answered. Most of them were just simple. Yeah, they're just like really simple questions to answer, but hopefully I answered them all to everyone's satisfaction. Again, I apologize if anybody got a little offended at me flipping off Elmo. I am not a fan of Elmo. I don't like Elmo. I don't like him. Okay, he's not one of my favorite Muppets. That's me. He's not even one of my favorite Muppets. He's not even a fucking Sesame Street character that I like. Alright, there was a video I watched where an Elmo toy got destroyed by a jet engine. I cheered. I cheered at that. I cheered. What does that tell you? There was a Family Guy episode where Peter was stuck on house arrest, and all the TV shows were running together, and all of a sudden it was Homicide, Life on Sesame Street. And Bert was getting out of bed saying that some poor bastard got his head blown off at a place called Hooper's. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm like, I bet you Elmo's probably there, asking if he can help, and then getting pushed away. I enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Elmo, so that's what it is. But thank you all, though, like I said, for stopping by. I can give like an idea for when, but I'll make it more official later on for the next one. Let me see here. Oh, okay, because July ends on a fucking Friday, doesn't it? Jeez. Shoot for the 25th, like 25th, 26th, because then worst case scenario, I can record it quick on Monday, and I can have it ready to go, or I can record it to put it up on a Monday. So 25th, 26th, I'll give a more permanent and firm date probably by the end of this week, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. But maybe like next week, worst case scenario, I'll have a confirmed solid date. But just load up your questions, and I'll let you know when the next when the limit is. I'll put it like in a comment or something, or I'll just put up a video for it. So, yeah, but that's about it. So, thank you all again for your questions. Again, I apologize for flipping off Elmo, but that's my thoughts on Elmo. And I could care less about him getting an HBO talk show. I could care less if Elmo gets another talk show. Sesame Street became nothing but Elmo. So, yeah, but thank you all for tuning in here on the Q&A video, and until next month, I'm Andrew. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget, ring the bell notification, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know the drill. Check out my Twitter page at Otaku Roads. Check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget to check out all the fun stuff here on the channel, like my podcasts, my reviews, my discussions, my rants. I do a lot of stuff on this channel. And I did put up a recent video, as of this recording, all the drawings that I was doing during the pandemic and the stay-at-home lockdown orders. So check those out. If you want that video, I will try to put it up in the card, which should be appearing up right about here, I think. But until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been the Q&A video. Bye, everybody.